Hello, friends. I wish you a very happy new year. Today is 2nd January 2022. The new year has just started, and we all look forward to what's going to happen in the new year. And I'm sure it's going to be something much better than the last year. I'm sure we all have too many things to forget about 2019 and 2020. It has not been a great time for most of humanity, but I'm sure this year is going to be a good one, and we are all going to make it a good one for ourselves. To my previous video on the various aspects of wellness, a lot of people reached out and they wanted to ask me, like, what are the specific steps we can take when we talk about wellness. I talked about the four aspects of wellness, like the physical wellness, the mental wellness, the financial wellness, and the spiritual wellness. Okay. So when we talk about physical wellness, the easiest way to define physical wellness would be that if you sit for a specific task, whether it is yoga, whether it is meditation, whether it is working on your laptop, or whether it is just waiting for the bus to arrive, you should be able to forget your body. You should be able to completely forget that you have a body. And that can only happen if your body is healthy. Why do I say that? If you have issues in your eyesight, you would still be struggling to see what's going on. If you have issues with your ears, you would be struggling to hear what's going on. If you have a backache, for example, back pain, you would not be sitting still. No, you would be just, oh, come on, man. I wish I could stand up, but I wish there was some way of getting rid of this. So you would be constantly thinking about some issue in your body all the time. Okay. So that's why when I say that you should be able to forget your body, that is the ultimate level of physical wellness. This is what I mean by that. That whatever position or pose you take, it should be easy for you. You should be able to completely forget that you have a body. And that can only happen if you don't have any issues in your body. And to achieve that state, the way I do it is what I want to share with you. Okay. So some practical steps on what I have taken to come over the issues that I had. Now, before I reach on the practical steps, would want to know what were the issues I had. Okay, that's very pertinent. Okay, so what was I having which I solved? What were the problems I had which I solved? The key problem that I had, which I developed over the years after sitting, more a very sedentary lifestyle, not really doing too much, working on a laptop like 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours sometimes a day, and sometimes in the weekends there would be activities, but that would not be sufficient enough to cover the rest of the days of a sedentary lifestyle. So there are so many reasons why I landed in that state of back pain issues, having issues with my digestion. Coupled with that, I had like pretty heavy specs. When I say heavy, it was like above -2. In my view, that is heavy. Some people may say it's kind of okay, but yeah, it was heavy. I couldn't really drive very well if I didn't wear my specs. So back pain, not being able to sit for long hours comfortably, sitting on the floor and meditating was not easy. As I said, digestion issues, liver issues, eyesight issues, and a number of other lingering issues would have gradually surfaced if I had not taken a U-turn from there as far as the physical health is concerned. So what did I do to get over those issues? So what I did was I relooked at the way I live my life and tried to understand what are the small steps, what I would call the mini steps or baby steps that I can take to start improving on the key aspects, the foundational aspects of my health. Okay. So the first thing was sitting. Now I read it when I went for a diagnostic test, they had a poster over there and it said, sitting is the new smoking. So what it meant was that these long hours of sitting on a chair are actually almost equal to smoking if you talk about what it causes in terms of health issues. The way smoking can result in multiple issues, the same way sitting can cause multiple health issues. So this is what this phrase meant. It really hit me hard because I was like sitting very long hours. Okay. So what I decided was that I would do something about these long hours of sitting. Obviously, I wouldn't leave my job and take up a standing job, anything like that. But what I can do to improve the way I work, to improve the way I sit, and to improve the issues that are caused by long hours of sitting. So the critical aspect of sitting is never sit for more than 30 minutes on a chair. So if you are sitting on a chair for 30 minutes, you have to get up. You have to get up, walk a little bit. Even if you're in a call, maybe you can have a long wired headset. Maybe you can have a wired headset. I usually take it on my AirPods, and you just use that. Come continue to attend your meeting, but maybe walk a few steps every 30 minutes. Even if you walk for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, that's good enough to break that cycle of sitting is the new smoking. Okay, then you are no longer smoking when you are sitting. So it's very important to understand that even this small step, this mini step of getting up from your chair while you are sitting can have a big impact on your overall physical wellness. The other key aspect was that I couldn't find time for major activities. So, I had the same excuse as so many other friends of mine and colleagues of mine, that I'm busy so much that I really cannot exercise during weekdays. I don't have time. I work so much. I thought deeply about it, and I realized that this was nothing but a very sophisticated yet crude excuse. The reason being, most of us start office from like 9 a.m. and finish officially by 6 p.m. But more often than not, unofficially, you have to linger on until like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., sometimes 10 p.m. also, sometimes even longer. It happens to me sometimes. Like I start at 7 a.m. and I finish at 11 p.m. But there is still a possibility of somehow wringing out 1 hour from that to dedicate to yourself. Because if you don't dedicate that 1 hour to yourself, you would be dedicating a number of hours in the future to a hospital bed or a physiotherapist's bed, and a lot of your hard earned money to the doctor, to the physiotherapist, to the alternate therapist, and so many other things. Other than that, apart from these, your quality of life is seriously degraded, because as I said, if you sit and you cannot sit comfortably, you cannot enjoy, whether it's a movie, whether it's an activity, whatever it is, you cannot enjoy it. So it's very very pertinent that the physical health is taken very a lot of care about. So take out 1 hour in the morning. The way I do it is, I joined a yoga class. It was primarily an Iyengar yoga class. um, it was before the COVID days, so I was able to go and physically attend that. So it was like 15 minutes drive from my home. So it used to be 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. initially. So I would get up early, get ready, and go for the yoga class, do 1 hour of yoga every alternate day. So it used to be like 3 days in a week. So every alternate day yoga. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. yoga. And Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, it would be something else like a Kalaripayattu, which is a very ancient martial arts technique. It is not very easily available, but I was able to find it through a new project, Samskriti, that Sadhguru has launched. So I started it only recently. Before Kalaripayattu, I was doing some other things like either cycling or just jogging around my society, things like that. So whatever I could find, I was doing. I didn't need to look for sophisticated things like going to a gym, getting a health trainer initially, and all those things. Just these mini steps of doing yoga, doing cycling, running a little bit. So whatever is able to increase your heart rate, no, able to exercise your cardio is important. So yoga takes care of a lot of your aspects about flexibility, blood circulation, lymphatic circulation, balance in your body. A lot of you can say tendons which have become weak become more flexible and strong because of that. So a lot of things are taken care of by yoga. But the heavy activity, what you call the endurance activities, are taken care of by jogging, by running, so many other things that you can do. These don't require any investment. So the yoga is very commoditized these days in terms of pricing. It's not very expensive. So it's important that we take that. So yoga, running, so 1 hour per day I was able to take out. I did that very consistently, so I didn't miss it for most of the time, unless of course I had to travel or I had a flight or something like that. But if I missed it, I would try to catch up, somehow during the day, let's say half an hour in the evening or something like that, whatever was possible. So I would just make sure that I don't break the discipline, because if you break the discipline for a week or something, your months and years of discipline would be gone. You may not be very easily be able to come back to the fold of whatever you were doing previously. So let me repeat: physical activity, yoga, running, walking, some sport, whatever you can take out early in the morning, not letting the excuse of not having time stop you from doing it. Just doing that helped me to a very large extent in managing my back pain, in making sure that my vitality increased. And I did a number of other things later on, which we'll talk about in my subsequent videos. One episode may not be sufficient for the multitude of things that I have taken steps towards, but we need to make sure that we at least understand the micro steps, the mini steps that we are talking about here. So do take care of these as far as physical steps is concerned. Just get up from your seat every 30 minutes, walk a little bit. Maybe you can do some flexibility exercises of your neck and shoulders. These are very simple ones. If you just sit like this, and if you just do like this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and try to see as far back as you can see, and then do it like this for 5 times each side, and then look up, look down, look up, look down. Do it 5 times each side, and then very gently just turning it like this, maybe half rotation. So don't do a full rotation, do a half rotation, so that if you have aches in your neck already, you don't increase or exacerbate that. Okay, then half like this, half like this, half like this. So 5 times, backwards, 5 times forward each side. Just doing this usually takes care of the issues in your neck. The shoulders are pretty easy to manage if you just do like this, the typical dancer poses. So one each side, maybe 10 times each side, then do both sides, and then do the reverse side as well. Okay, so this takes care of the joints in the shoulders and makes you helps you improve the posture that you have, because more often than not, if you are a desk worker like me, if you work a lot on the keyboard, your posture would be like slouching. You'll be like bending over all the time, and gradually your shoulders also droop down. So doing this helps you make your shoulders more flexible, and it improves your posture. So automatically your posture would be corrected, your chest would be out, the shoulders would be a little bit back, and your overall blood circulation, the positioning of your spine, those will drastically improve. One other important aspect is the wrists, because more often than not, people who type a lot, they'll develop issues in their wrist, the carpal tunnel syndrome, tennis elbow syndrome, and so many other things. So just doing this, if you just do your hands and just do like this 10 or 12 times, like this, up down, and then rotate clockwise 12 times, rotate anti-clockwise 12 times. This solves a lot of the wrist problems. I was also having a little bit of pain in my right wrist as well for some time in those days. Maybe I was developing carpal tunnel syndrome. I don't know what it was, but I was having like pain over here. But just doing this, the pain went away in some time. It has never come back. It's been many years now. So these very small activities can help a lot in removing the key issues that you can have in terms of neck, shoulder, and wrists. If you talk about lower back, that requires a lot more sophistication, especially if you have a lot of issues. Okay, if you have a lot of issues, we are going to talk in more detail about what we can do about lower back issues. I'll make a demo video where I'll show you what I did for managing my lower back issues, and how I was able to transform from a guy who was not able to lift even a small child to a person who can do whatever he wants to do. Okay, so I can typically do whatever I want to do as far as back exercises is concerned. So that I will talk about in more detail in one of my future videos. But right now we were talking more about the key mini steps that we can take to manage the key issues, the you can say the most frequent issues that people have when they're sitting on the desk. And The other aspect of physical wellness and being able to forget your body when you are sitting also relates to what you would experience in your mental wellness. Because if you have a lot of issues in your body, then you don't enjoy the other experiences of life. And gradually stress takes over because you're not enjoying anything. So nothing fulfills your desires. If nothing fulfills your desires, then gradually emptiness starts to comes in. So even if you are achieving a lot of things, the sense of achievement is not there. The fulfillment of achievement is not there. So gradually, the mental health starts to deteriorate. And once mental health starts to deteriorate, that is the start of a number of other issues, because it's like a vicious cycle. Your mental health can deteriorate your physical health, and your physical health can lead to worsening mental health. So this is how the vicious cycle starts. And both the body and the mind can and go for a toss. There's so many examples of this that you might have seen in life. You just have to look around, look at your colleagues, your acquaintances, and you would see that people are sometimes having very successful lives, very successful careers, but they're not really enjoying anything, either because they're very sick, sometimes knee pain, something of that sort is happening, or they are like really stressed out, which means they may be very physically healthy, but they're not enjoying life. Something is wrong as far as mental health is concerned. So do take care of yourself. I hope these very small mini steps were useful for you. We are going to talk a lot more about um, deeper aspects of physical, mental, financial, and spiritual wellness in the future talks. I would give you more practical examples about what I did to improve on all these four aspects. Until then, I do hope that you would be implementing this. Like I said, the key takeaway is get up early in the morning, find some time for yourself, do some yoga. You can do very basic yoga as well. So I'll give you some practical tips on what yoga exercises you can do in the morning. I'll add some videos after this video so that you can copy that or use that as a template for yourself. And then if you're sitting long hours on a chair, get up every 30 minutes, do some basic stretching exercises, go back to your chair and start walking. But do get up every 30 minutes. So this is the key thing that I wanted to talk about today. I hope this was useful. Please do let me know if you have any further questions, if you want to know more about anything, if you want me to talk about something very specific, do feel free to reach out. Put your questions in the comments. You can directly reach out to me on any of the social media platforms. Until then, enjoy the new year. Take care of yourself. God bless. Bye bye.